This morning we are going to visit Pompeii, which I'm very excited about. It's been on my bucket list for a long time. It is also raining, so it's a lot cooler. So I looked at the weather to see when it would be the most miserable to come, and that's when I booked it for. So being outside, it'll be a lot cooler. So not just a pretty face, brains too. So this theatre, the large theatre, was one of the first unearthed when they excavated Pompeii. So this is the main street of Pompeii, and of course there'd be water and animal excrement and human excrement flowing down. So for people to cross, they would have these lovely stepping stones. The wagon wheels were of a standard width so that they could fit through these gaps. You can see the carriage ruts that would fit exactly between the gaps. This is a fast food place. You'd come up here and you choose your food from here. So everyone knows about the history of Pompeii and Vesuvius. It was a very wealthy city. There were about 20,000 people who lived here at the time. The word pomp meant five, so I think it originally came from 5 hamlets. And there had been quite a number of eruptions before and a lot of earthquake activity, but nothing of the scale that happened on the 24th of August, 79 AD. On this very busy street corner right opposite the baths is the house of Cornelius Rufus, and he was obviously very wealthy with the impluvium, so you'd come in at the entrance there, have this marble basin to walk in before you went through the rest of the house. Lovely garden in the middle with all the rooms going off it. Just across the road would be the thermal baths. Detail is absolutely incredible. That is just unbelievable. So you'd have the baths on top, and you'd have a fire that heated up the air underneath that of course would flow through the different areas, and you'd have a cold bath and then a warmer bath and then a hot bath. Of course, the explosion of Vesuvius was so violent that it instantly covered Pompeii with 6 meters of volcanic ash and pumice stone, and that's what's beautifully preserved this city. So on the 24th of August 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted violently, and it spewed hot lava, volcanic ash 33 kilometers into the stratosphere. So you're talking about where planes are flying now. And it spewed out 1.5 million tons per second. Thermal energy that produced was 100,000 times of that of the nuclear bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. Here in situ is a woman who at the very last second tried to shield her face from the blast. You can see her hair and the remnants of some of her clothes. 100 years ago, when they were excavating Pompeii, they discovered these weird shaped cavities, and at first they didn't realize what it was, and then they realized that they were the people, and so the bodies had obviously disintegrated in time, but the shape had been preserved in the lava, so they injected a plaster of Paris in to create the shape of the bodies that you see now. This is the house of Sirico, and he was a very wealthy businessman, and you can see from the beautifully inlaid floor And at the top, if I can zoom in, it says Salve Lucra, which means welcome money. Would do all of his trading and business in this house, welcoming money, of course. Here's a beautiful fresco of very detailed snake or sea serpent. It's just incredible, isn't it? And here's the serpent. So this is the Lupanara. Lupanara comes from the word lupus, meaning wolves, so this is the place of the she-wolves, or the brothel. Because Pompei was a port, there would be a lot of foreigners who didn't speak Latin, and so they had pictures of what people could choose that they wanted. In order for the women not to fall pregnant, they would insert lemon and salt into their vagina before they had sex. Oh. Now we are walking up to the Forum. So the Forum would be the main square of Pompeii. It would have the Temple of Apollo, the Temple of Jupiter, it would have an indoor market, and this was where all the political business took place. And of course, from the Forum, you get the full view of Mount Vesuvius in the background. This is the Mensa Ponderaria, and you can see through here, this is where they would measure liquids and solids sold at the market to make sure that it was the correct measurement. So cereals, wine, etc. would all be checked that they hadn't been cheated in the market.